Hanukkah is commonly referred to as the Festival of Lights, but what many people do not know is that it actually began with a war. Jerusalem was seized by the Greek army and the practicing of Judaism was made illegal. The Holy Temple was destroyed and ransacked, and anyone who was caught practicing Judaism was executed. The seizing of the Holy Temple caused great outrage, and soon a rebellion was formed. The rebellion was led by Mattatyahu Maccabee and his 5 sons. Unfortunately, Mattatyahu succumbed to battle, and his eldest son, Judah, led the Jews to victory. The Holy Temple was reclaimed by the Jewish people, and they immediately went to fixing it up. Unfortunately, all the oil had been taken or burned already, and there was only enough olive oil left in the Holy Temple to burn the candles for 1 day. But then, God intervened. Instead of burning for 1 day, the candles stayed lit for 8 days. This is known as the miracle of light and where most of the celebration stems from. The Hanukkah celebration lasts 8 days and nights, and at sundown each night, an additional candle is lit on the menorah. During the light of the candles, a prayer is said in Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shal Chanukah. Now, there are many leisure activities associated with the celebration of Hanukkah. The first of which is the gift exchange after the lighting of the candles. Traditionally, a small gift is given to the child after the candles are lit once every night. However, due to the popularity of Christmas and the competing time frame, Jewish kids generally have started to receive larger gifts, especially in American Israel, the more urbanized Jewish communities. Another common leisure activity associated with Hanukkah is the spinning of the dreidel, one of the world's oldest gambling games. The game is played by spinning the dreidel, which is a 4-sided top. Prior to each spin, money is placed in the pot, and the winnings are determined based on which side the dreidel lands on. Each side of the dreidel has a Hebrew letter on it. On the first side, there is Gimel, which means that the player would receive the entire pot. The next side is Hey, which means that the player would receive half the pot. The next side is None, which means that nothing happens and the player receives nothing. Then finally, there is Shin, and if it lands on Shin, then the player actually has to contribute 2 of their coins or chips or dollars or whatever into the pot. The game of dreidel is often not taken very seriously as a gambling sport. In fact, it's generally played by children who use chocolate coins known as gelt instead of actual currency to put into the pot. The other leisure activity associated with Hanukkah is the eating and drinking with friends and family. Generally, the children drink grape juice, or in other countries wine, and the adults drink wine in America. They eat potato pancakes, which are also known as latkes, which are like hash browns fried in olive oil. They also eat sufganiyot, which are jelly-filled donuts, basically.
Kwanzaa is an African-American and Pan-African holiday established to celebrate the lives and culture of all people of African descent. It was started in 1966 by Dr. Maulana Karenga, a professor of African Studies at California State University. The name comes from the phrase Matunda ya Kwanzaa, meaning first fruits, and it represents the connection to the traditional first harvest celebrations in Africa. Kwanzaa is a time to observe 5 concepts important to the Pan-African ideology: the gathering of loved ones, reverence for God and creation, commemoration of the ancestors and past events, commitment to cultural ideas and values, and the celebration of life and all the good in it. That's it. Kwanzaa is a holiday heavily based around family and culture. Here we have a family meeting for the first time after being apart for a long time. Kwanzaa begins by setting the table with the 7 symbols of Kwanzaa. These symbols are the crops, the mat, the candle holder, the corn, the 7 candles themselves, the unity cup, and the gifts for the family members. The mat is placed first, creating foundation for the rest of the symbols. The mat represents history, meaning history is the foundation for all other cultural values. Next, the candle holder is placed in the center. The candle holder represents the ancestral roots of all Pan-African people. The 7 candles represent the 7 principles of Kwanzaa themselves. These principles are unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. Next, crops consisting of fruits and vegetables such as the yam are placed around the mat. The crops symbolize productivity and commemorate the first harvest celebrations of Africa. Next, the corn is placed on the mat. The corn is representative of children, the future of society. It is their job to continue these traditions and hold up the culture's values.
Dude, you get to use the unity cup.
The unity cup represents 2 core concepts of Kwanzaa: unity and community. It is used to pour what are called libations, during which ancestors are remembered or accomplishments are praised. Next, the gifts are placed on the mat. The gifts represent the relationship between parents and children, one of love and commitment. They are typically given by the parents to the children and consist of cultural items, toys, and books. Kwanzaa is a holiday that should be observed in the company of family and loved ones, as it is heavily centered on family and community values.
At my family reunions, we do it every Thanksgiving, and the first thing we do is just kind of talk, sit around the TV, maybe go outside if it's nice out, watch football, eat a lot of food, and usually we spend all day from like 12 to like 6 o'clock, and then after that we just say our goodbyes, and that's pretty much our family reunion each year. And I live on the lake, so we spend a lot of time on the boat. We ski. I did teach my little cousins last winter or last summer how to ski. So yeah, we hang out on the lake a lot as well.
When my family has reunions, we go to a vineyard in Non-Airy, North Carolina that my aunt owns. It's just really old. There's a lot of open space. We have like about 20 people there, so there's enough space for everybody. And it lets us do fun things, like we have a whole field to play football in. We have a vineyard that's not used, so we can use it to shoot clay pigeons over the vineyard. Our family likes the mountains, so it's good that we meet over there because we're all from West Virginia. So we all have those like shared like love of the mountains. And we usually make a campfire. We'll grill hot dogs and burgers over the fire. We have a grill piece over the fire. And we'll all camp out since there's only 2 houses for like 20 people. Most people sleep in tents. And it's just a really fun time to be we're outdoors with the family, and we're all having a good time, eating out, being together.
Alright, my family reunion, what you do is basically divide it up based on how old you are. So the older people usually sit around, just catch up since they haven't seen each other in a while, drink a few beers. While the younger kids and the teenagers will do things like play sports and play catch and just stuff like that.